Okay, permission to practice is granted. Mr. LBC, your appearance.
Public Defender Courtroom, based on behalf of Edward LaRue, Your Honor.
Back in session. All those having business before the court draw near. The Honorable Judge J. Cedric Simpson presiding.
All right, and good afternoon, folks. Court does call the case of the People versus Edward LaRue.
Good morning, Your Honor. Maria Rosinsky on behalf of the people requesting permission to practice pursuant to Michigan Court Rule 8.120 under the supervision of Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Caitlin Gruby.
Who's on the other side of this?
Mr. Belvisi.
Mr. LaRue, can you unmute yourself, sir? And I'll just let you know your attorney stepped right out of the courtroom. So when he gets back in, can you let Hugh know we need him back? Mr. LaRue, can you unmute or no? Can he hear me? Or is that froze? I'm green.
I feel like nobody else turned their business on. Right?
Mr. LaRue, if you can hear me, can you wave your hand? He's frozen.
I'm actually seeing him blink, but
Oh, you did? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Moon. Okay, now he's moving. All right, Mr. LBC, you're back in the courtroom. I'm sorry, this was your case. Well, before we go on, permission, she looks so different than in the little box. Okay. Permission to practice is granted. Mr. LBC, your appearance.
Public Defender Courtroom, based on behalf of Edward LaRue, Your Honor.
Mr. LaRue, can you state your name, please, sir?
My name is Edward LaRue.
All right. This is time, date and time set for trial, correct? Pre-trial. All right, what are we doing?
At this time, I would be requesting adjournment. I do need to discuss some things with my clients.
All right.
Your Honor.
Pardon?
May I have a word with you, Your Honor?
Depends on what you want to say to me, Mr. LaRue.
If it's not about the case, then yes.
I was going to fire my court-appointed attorney and represent myself in this matter and continue with the hearing as planned.
All right, Mr. LaRue, why do you want to do that?
I'm sorry?
Why do you want to do that?
It's been several weeks and the court was adjourned last time just on the basis that I don't want to spend more time in jail and I have some physical health things going on that I wanted to deal with from the outside, some overdue medical procedures.
Let's go to address bond.
Well, your attorney was going to address bond. You don't want him to do that? You want to try it for yourself, or what do you want to do?
Well, if he was going to address bond, I mean, I would like that. Yes, you're correct.
So I'm correct in what?
That I would like him to address bond. You're correct there.
Okay, so you want Mr. LBC to continue representing you in this matter? Okay, great, thanks. I'm glad we got that cleared up. I'll adjourn the matter to July 3rd, 2023 at 1 p.m. and as to bond.
Yes, Your Honor. I believe with himself, because he can't appear. My client he does have some health concerns and he does have the family obligations to take care of. So we were hoping to switch his bond over to a PR bond. He has been in regular contact with me, actually in contact with me before the bench warrant was put out, but he had some technical difficulties, that's why he was unable to appear that day. So we would ask that the court change his bond to a PR bond.
Are you still on Oak, Mr. LaRue?
That is my permanent mailing address, yes.
Okay, thank you. Any response to the request for a bond reduction?
Yes, Your Honor. We would argue that bond should stay the same, because the defendant hit the victim, bleeding from her nose and her face.
Thing in here, though, is that initially, and I understand those things, however, on April 16th, the defendant was arraigned, he received a PR bond. He was out on bond and then just did not appear at the next proceeding.
Yes, he did not violate any terms of the
You
bond.
mean
Your Honor.
terms or conditions? The conditions were continued. What I will do is I will reduce the defendant's bond to a personal recognizance, $25,000 bond. Defendant must be on a GPS prior to release. And yeah.
Hear that, Mr.
And
LaRue?
are you working, Mr. LaRue?
No, I missed several interviews while I was in here, but
So that's a no.
I
Thank
have
you.
my hopes of being a job soon. That's a no, yeah.
Your Honor, I also have the community corrections report where he failed to report community corrections. Then I have a Canton Police Department report where he did violate in Canton. And that was on April 24th of 2023.
April 24th
4th of 2023, and that was with the same victim. Yes, he admitted to being, even to the police, that he was at Amy's residence and with Amy for the night, and then he stated he left his residence but returned to get his phone after he had left for the night. So admits violating the no contact book too.
But what was the reason he came into contact with the police? Did she call? I do see that report, but I don't see anything in that report as to why.
I know that they were dispatched.
Well, it apparently, I didn't see this. It says they were dispatched to that address for domestic violence. Is there a current other domestic violence? I may have to reconsider this bond. Is there another domestic violence that's pending in Canton?
I can double check, Your Honor. I don't know. I just have the that report.
Here's what I'm going to do. At this point, Mr. LaRue,
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to continue your bond as I previously said it until there could be a determination as to whether or not you're going to have a new DV after this one. A new DV out of
DV in
Canton.
Canton, I was the victim in that case, Your Honor. I was not the assailant. It was against Amy Burberry, not against myself. She was arrested and detained.
I don't, sir, before you say anything else, I don't have that in this report. What I have is that they
If
were
you're working in this
dispatched
area,
there.
always check for master packs or sets prior to entering.
Seriously? All I have is that they were dispatched there for a domestic violence. There's a reference to a case number, but I don't have anything that as to who did what.
Honor?
And then it goes into that. Yes, sir.
Possible to get him PR bond with perhaps home confinement?
Well, that's what I was going to do, but if there's another DV against him pending, I'm not going to do that.
Being able to verify that?
Well, that's what I was saying.
For Wayne County cases, the only thing I'm seeing is a controlled substance possession that the probation was closed out. I don't see any open new cases, but that doesn't mean it's not under review. So I can't verify that at this time if they're going to charge it or not.
Okay. Here's what, pardon?
Go ahead, Your Honor.
What I will do is I'm going to continue to defendant's bond at this point. But if somebody can get me some information that what Mr. LaRue is telling me is correct, then I would go back to what I was going to do before of the PR with a GPS that would be home confinement.
There's also a way to like tell what like
Okay, and Begway is going to be kicked out if they do that one more time. Well, they're gone. Okay. All right. I'll certainly reconsider that, but I need some more information on what transpired from April 24th in Canton. All right. All right. Thank you. And I'll still leave it on the quick date of the
Mr.
third.
LaRue, I'll be in touch with you.
I mean, even some verification from the police that that's the new charge. If it comes forward, be as against the other party as opposed to Mr. LaRue, the court will take a look at that. All right. Thank you. Need another problem. In big way.
One of the most interesting moments in this hearing wasn't a dramatic legal argument. It was the defendant's decision to ask to represent himself before quickly changing course. Self-representation is a constitutional right, but courts must ensure that a defendant fully understands the consequences before allowing it. In this case, the judge carefully questioned the defendant and quickly identified that his immediate concern was actually his bond, not his legal representation. The bond discussion also illustrates an important legal principle. Judges don't decide release solely based on hardship or medical concerns. They must also consider public safety, prior compliance with court orders, and any new allegations that may affect the defendant's risk to the community. Rather than making a rushed decision, the judge sought additional information before modifying the bond conditions. Although the template references sovereign citizen cases, this hearing did not involve sovereign citizen arguments. Instead, it demonstrated how real courts handle requests for self-representation and pretrial release through established legal procedures, rather than emotion or speculation. The key takeaway is that courtroom decisions are driven by evidence, procedural fairness, and judicial discretion. Whether a defendant is asking for a new lawyer, representing themselves, or requesting release from custody, the court's role is to ensure every decision is based on verified facts and the rule of law.